Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. Hello, everybody. Good to be here again with you. It's an amazing time to be alive and to allow ourselves to feel more vibrancy. So you're gonna explore that in incredible new ways through esoteric principles for bodybuilding. Now, this doesn't mean that necessarily we're looking for you to put on 100 pounds of mass on your body. All right, I don't think that's necessarily the case. Just about really just strengthening your overall energy and your body and everything and all that good stuff. I'll let Batista tell us about that, but I just want to don't scare anybody away. It's like, well, this is muscle, that stuff. Forget about it. No, it's not necessarily that. It could be that, some of that's in a way, but it's not necessarily that. It's much deeper than that, much deeper than that. It's very spiritual, so you want to tune in. So Batista, it's awesome to have you here today.
Well, thank you. And I'm excited to share my take on the esoteric principles of bodybuilding. And as you mentioned, it's not about just putting on muscles, but I have a passion for spirituality and metaphysical science and, all the meditation and comparative religion. And I was asking for some answers. I had some answers and I had some questions, and now I have some answers that I love to share with your audience. So thank you for having me here.
Yeah, I can't wait to share everything because there's just there's so many ways to approach, taking care of ourselves and how we go to the gym or how do we even work out at home and everything and how we approach our lives, and fitness and everything. So we're going to get into all that sort of stuff. So let me tell you about Batista. Batista Gremaud is an international body designer, a #1 best-selling author of feminine body design, empowering fitness for a pain-free life, co-creator of the Feminine Body Design online strength training, mentoring the system, co-host of the Esoteric Principles of Bodybuilding and producer of the Dr. Fitness USA's show, recipient of the most outstanding fitness program in 2019 by Winner's Circle Mastermind at Sea. She's also a contributing writer for In the Limelight publication, featured as an expert authority speaker on the International Pain Foundation, presenter on various health summits such as Life Mastery, Girl, You Are Enough, Weight Loss Summit, and the Suicide Prevention Show. And it's just so amazing, so many wonderful things, Batista, you're up to, and such passion and heart and love. And I'm just looking forward, to learning more about you. And we're going to share about these esoteric principles of bodybuilding, how they may be a missing link. They are a missing link to fitness consciousness, because we really don't. We have a very interesting consciousness when it comes to fitness, don't we? I mean, it's pretty fascinating that we just kind of think, well, fitness means you go to the gym, you push weights around, or just get at it, just do it, or like usually that's mostly the idea. But first, before we get too deep into all that, I do want you to share a little bit about your story briefly about what got you into all this stuff with fitness. And because I know you have a big story about your background and what got you into it.
Yes, thank you for asking. So I am a former professional dancer, ballet and flamenco. So my whole life was about dancing and the body and being healthy and, reaching out for new heights physically and emotionally and mentally, because dancing is a very demanding profession. And I had some car accidents also when I was in my mid 20s. So dancing for few decades over a lot of injuries, my injuries started to get really, really worse, even though I had done a lot of things to help with the injuries or to try to heal them. All the regular modalities, chiropractic, massage, acupuncture, and things like this, and also all the physical therapy, but also metaphysically speaking, Reiki, hands-on healing, all those types of healing modalities that are not so conventional, but nothing was really working for me. And I was against the wall. My injuries were getting worse and worse, and I was really facing losing my career because I barely could move anymore. And as I mentioned, my passion has always been into spirituality. And so when I wasn't dancing or on ice packs at some type of doctor, I was in a meditation class or, some type of a group or whatever. So one night I was in a meditation with a meditation group, and I had an awakening, if you like, a moment of clarity. And the topic of the evening was body, mind, spirit integration. And so we're all, meditating and bringing the energy and grounding the body, and a lot of direction on grounding the body and integrating the body, mind. And I woke up, and it's like, well, what do you mean? Here I am, pretty skilled at a lot of metaphysical modalities. I could read auras and past lives and a lot of things that we do in those, that was my passion, but my body was falling apart. And all these body, mind, spirit integration, it's almost like my body was over here, and I was looking at me and doing this whole body, mind, spirit from basically an outer body experience, if you like. And I woke up and I said, this is not what body, mind, spirit integration is. There's something missing here, because if it was really integrated, then my body wouldn't be in so much pain, and I would be at the same level physically as spiritually and the other, the other bodies, which we have many bodies aside from the physical. And then I looked around and I saw all the groups, my friends, and I saw a lot of suffering. I saw a lot of suffering in the room, and I saw a lot of people out of shape, too heavy, too skinny, with injuries, pain, emotion, whatever, but I saw a lot of suffering. And I said, no, there's something missing here. And I made a super intention to find the piece of the puzzle missing of the body, mind, spirit integration. I made an intention to find the body part, that piece of the puzzle. And so I organized a meditation group at the time. I was doing that regularly, and so I invited everybody, and I made the intention, the group intention. This is what we're going to do tonight, and we did everything that we ever learned about that. Everything that we ever learned. That was the focus. And the very next day, I met Dr. Fitness USA. Yeah.
There's metaphysical principles, right? Bang, there it is.
Bang, that's a manifestation like that, right? And so for me, there was no doubt. It was a sign, right? When I was at a restaurant, I was putting a dance show at the restaurant. I was waiting for the owner. He came for lunch, like coincidence, right? Not. And so we made eye contact, and he walked by my table. And he said, well, who are you? And I'm Batista. And I said, well, who are you? And he said, I'm an international body designer. And my jaw dropped to the table. I went, oh, that's what I need. And so to make a long story short, a couple of hours later, I was in his office, and he was telling me all these things that I'm going to share with you today, and all the things that are also in the free gift, the free gift that I'm going to give your audience at the end of this presentation. He was telling me these things which were very foreign to me, because even though I was very spiritually inclined and I had a lot of knowledge, that knowledge, I also, as a professional dancer, I also had a preset amount of belief systems that had to do with fitness and taking care of the body. and so his conversation was very bizarre, and it didn't I had never heard anything quite like that. So I hired him to work with me on my injuries. I started lifting weight, which was very, very scary because I was very injured. And within a couple of weeks on the system, my backache was gone. Within a couple of months, all my injuries were gone. So I married him. And
He must be the one.
yeah, he must be the one. I don't do things halfway. When I do something, I do it full out. So yes, I married him and made a career transition. I was so fascinated with the process and the knowledge, and it's been an amazing journey. It's been 11 years. I've been pain free completely, no more injuries for 11 years, and I'm stronger than ever. You know, we're saying we're not here to show you how to put on muscles, but muscles actually feel good when you're strong physically. Physical, emotional, spiritual, mental strength is all related. That's what I found. And yeah, and I love sharing the knowledge with people, and I'm so happy to be here to talk to you today.
Oh, this is so great. And one of the things that I know that I ran into was just in general with fitness. I'll just share real quickly is, I worked out, as a teenager, boo, boo, boo. How much could we do? It's always like that, and how much stronger we could get. And then I continued to, work out as early adulthood, and then I got into tennis. I was more into tennis and also a little weightlifting, and then and I always swore to myself, I'm going to be fitness for life. That's it. I'm not going to let myself go down there. But then I got married. I had kids. Before you know it, I was doing nothing more than going for walks. I mean, it just seemed like I couldn't find time to go. I was busy building a business and everything. And so years went by. And then when I finally went back to the gym, they took a photo of me and I was like, I looked so frail in my eyes, like really frail. I mean, to me. And then I had the gut and everything. It was like, oh my God. And I didn't realize how weak I had gotten. And so it was and then I had back problems and stuff, and that crept up on me. And so I had to really, one of the things that I've had to really focus on is a spiritual person, because similar to you, I mean, I've been very deep with that's my thing, the spiritual aspect and intuitive business coaching and all that. But like, really deepening spiritually and metaphysically and, mastering realms within all that, right? And manifestation power. And then it's like, I had my own mentor at one point too with martial arts. He came in and he says, well, it looks like you got going with your system, like, it looks like you got the mind. It looks like, you got the spirit, but, you got to work on your body even more. That's going to be huge for you. So we got to work on that. And so, yeah, I mean, what I found is that, like, I was just even some of the simple as being in the gym last night. I just find like the next day, today, I feel my energy is more balanced. I want to say even like it's more balanced. It's not like over like yeah, it's not weak, it's not like too stressed, or it's more balanced. And so yeah, totally, I guess what I want to say is I totally get this idea of how they all come together, and that the power of utilizing just the fact of just doing things like weightlifting or whatever we're doing, but like that, how the profound difference of working with the body is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
How much that supports your overall spiritual attunement, how much it can contribute to that, I think is missing for a lot of people. And you talked about that in your story. So what have you, yeah, I'd love to hear more about what have you found is, I mean, because we can go in and we can just work out and, do all these things, but a lot of people don't get even this one thing that I want to talk about first is they don't get that by strengthening your body. It does actually help you with spiritual connection, which I think is a big, big priority for the people that are listening.
Absolutely. Yes, as a matter of fact, for me, that was the question I had. That was the quest. That was what I was asking for to to find that piece of the puzzle missing, because I was very spiritually inclined and very physically inclined, but for some reason there was a disconnect, because over here I I was doing all the body thing, the dancing, which is extremely physical, so it's not like I was a couch potato, but
Right.
I wasn't, I was missing the connecting link to
Mm.
where it really integrates, and I think that that's what I found through this research. And there's many principles that I can talk about, to illustrate or to enlighten the person of how that might look like. But I can start with just one that's maybe very understandable. Let's just talk about posture. And so everybody is aware, everybody that's in the spiritual field realm is very aware that we have the energy centers in the body that are called chakras, right? So the chakras are in alignment, hopefully, or they're not. And when they're not in alignment, then it creates some interferences, some energy interferences. And so when you look at the body, mind, spirit integration, the way I look at it is the one of the first thing to look at is the alignment of the chakras. But the alignment of the chakras are in connecting with postural alignment. And if you go to a meditation class, for example, or a session or whatever, often the instructor would say, oh, sit up straight, let the energy flow, watch your posture, don't slouch, or something like this. It's not unusual that that would be one of the direction. But there is no, you can't will or think good posture. It's not possible. You can hold good posture with your mind for a minute, but as soon as you stop thinking about it, you're going to go back to your original posture. So one of the things that I found with the Dr. Fitness USA's principles of training is the first principle is working on realigning the spine and grounding the body, because the spine is the lifeline to your health. That's through it where the energies flow, the neurochemicals flow to the brain. This is really the lifeline. So while most people, a lot of people in the fitness industry will tell you, oh, you have to strengthen the core, you have to strengthen the core. I'm not disagreeing with this, but you have to strengthen the spine. You don't only have to strengthen the spine, you have to realign the spine.
Mm.
That's the foundation. So that's one of those connections that I found. Wherever there is stagnation, there's disease, and that goes physically and also spiritually, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things that was one of those elements that I found in the principles of the Dr. Fitness USA. There's many more, but I want to
Right,
pause
right,
here
right.
and and let you see if you have any thoughts on that or any
Yeah.
questions.
Well, I mean, I think honestly, there's a few thoughts I have. One of the thoughts I had was around. I mean, I practice Kundalini yoga each week. I'm not super hardcore into it, but I do some of that, and a lot of what we're doing in there is in part focused on the spine. It's not specifically focused. It's more breath and postures and mantras and various things. But part of it is the spine. They're constantly referencing the spine. Okay, this is good for the spine. This is good for the spine. So it's constantly focusing on what we're doing with the spine, and I feel like that's something that some maybe it is a little bit more in the Eastern traditions where they understand that, right? Like it's in the consciousness, like spine's important, and then in the Western world, it's a little bit, of course it's, merging now, but like But in the Western world, traditionally, you would get it more like, oh, that's a chiropractor. They're all about the spine. We got to get that spine just exactly right. If it's a hair off, man, you could die tomorrow. Like, I always kind of laughed at that because I'm like, come on, dude. You're trying to tell me, man, it's just like, other things. If it's 1 degree off, you're going to die. And I had people try to sell me packages like that. And that's what, unfortunately, given like chiropractors sometimes a bad name, with some of the things that go on with that stuff. But anyway, the this the core being the spine, as far as our connection with our body, right? I mean, that just makes perfect sense, and it's funny that we just throw certain things out and we don't hear these things. So these are all parts of the principles I think you're talking about when we get into so-called esoteric bodybuilding. I think some of this stuff isn't so esoteric. It's actually like just it's things we ought to really know. It's not that esoteric. It's esoteric because we don't talk about it. So
well, as above, so below, right? So like if your posture is really misaligned, it's just only the reflection of the other bodies that are also misaligned. And so it is esoteric in the sense that it's all connected. But you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So because the body is really just the physical manifestations of our thoughts, of our, how we have created, and we have the etheric body, the spiritual body, the mental bodies, and all the different bodies. And then we have the physical bodies. And then when the physical body is misaligned or some tweaked or whatever, then it's a reflection of the other bodies. So that's the way I look at it. So in our system, and it's good, like you mentioned, you go to Kundalini yoga and they say, oh, this is good for the spine and this and that. But what I have found is, just like I said, you can't really hold your spine up mentally with willpower. So what we do in our system, we develop the synergetic muscles around the spines that's going to start reversing bad posture, so that one day you're just gonna have good posture naturally. So basically, we reconstruct your body from the inside out. You see what I'm saying? So, and this is what the chiropractor does not tell you. The chiropractor, wants to do his adjustment and wants to realign your spine, but very rarely is he going to send you to an exercise program that's actually going to address the muscles around the spine in a corrective manner so that the alignment can hold.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's true. And I mean, there are some that do, right? There's always exceptions, but you're right. The majority, no, you're not going to get that.
Yeah, well, it would potentially hurt their business, right?
Right, exactly. Well, you don't need so many adjustments anymore.
Hey, look, when I was in my crisis for 35 years, I had back pain, right? And literally, I was at the chiropractor 3 times a week, just to maintain and be able to continue dancing and doing the things I was doing. And I haven't seen a chiropractor in 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying to do it. I mean, I believe in chiropractic. I think that it's good maintenance. But, where I stand today, I really believe that we have, with the right tools, we have the ability to keep our body in balance ourselves.
So
with the right tools.
So this is one aspect. And I'm assuming like you have you guys have your own unique approach to developing those muscles or around the spine and whatnot. And so that's huge, right? But I don't want to spend all our time on the spine. So we just want to say, hey, this is a core thing, and we're going to share more about where you can get more information by the end of the show here. So let's talk more about this yin and yang aspect, if we can, if that's okay. Can we go there now?
Absolutely. I love that. I love that topic because that's also a huge, that was one of the things that I knew everything about, the yin yang, male, female energy, or whatever. And when Stephen started explaining to me his take on it and how it relates to fitness, I think it's fascinating. And so we all have male and female energy. We know that, right? The yin yang, we all operate in this. And the yin energy, the female energy, is receiving, is a being, and the, you know, like the being, the non-doing, the feeling. And the male energy is more the doing, the competing, the that kind of more active uh, persona, right? Energy. So we all operate from one or the other. And women, for example, we have a larger passage in the brain. And so we can think and feel simultaneously. So we can go back and forth between the male and the female. But men have a smaller passage. So a man is more likely to just think and then feel, but they can't just go as back and forth like that. So what happens is for women, when we get older, we produce more progesterone, which is more the male or hormone compared to testosterone, right? So we become, in a sense, more male as we get older. So, and also because of responsibilities, work, you know, a lot of women are working now and taking care of children. By the way, having children, taking care of children, that's male energy because you're giving, you're protecting. So what happens, and I'm talking about the woman now, and I'm going to address the man too, kind of separately. It's similar, but a little bit different. But for the woman, we end up really running and living our life more from a male perspective, just because of the situation, right? Doing, working, you know, and so there's a point where for women, it's very hard to get out of the head and back in the body where we hold our feminine power, right? So now the woman is going to get in shape. Going to go get in shape. And so she's going to go and she's going to go hire a personal trainer or join a boot camp or join a CrossFit class or a whatever. And it's all about, come on, let's do more, come on, which is still more male energy, right?
Yes.
So it's compounding male energy on top of male energy. And for women, for us, it can be disastrous because for us, we're estrogen based, and ultimately we're going to need to feel good to do good, right? So this is one of the things that I found, and for me, it was a light bulb when I really understood that concept. Because for me, as a professional dancer, it was all about no pain, no gain. My whole life was about the show must go on, you know, and I did not know how to rest. I did not know how to really how to work out from a different perspective, from a perspective of feeling good. So we teach women never to do anything that's uncomfortable. And we also teach women to work out from a grounding perspective. And here comes the principle of grounding, which is in all meditation, ground the body, ground the body. But in fitness, very rarely we talk about working from a grounding perspective. In fitness, it's all about jumping up and down, doing an exercise over here, then doing jumping jacks, then doing walking lunge. It's all over the place. And the philosophy, the mindset behind that is, oh, if you trick the body, you're going to lose weight, the body's going to react. So you know what I mean? There's a lot of fad. Yeah, and it's actually true. It's actually true information. The body has to react to things like this. But long term, is that sustainable? It's not sustainable.
No. For
Because
most
the
people,
body has to feel good. You know
yeah.
what I mean? And so this is for women. So the yin yang is we teach women to work out from a female perspective where she can get out of the thinking mind and back in the body where she owns her power. And when that happens, and of course we work with ergonomics and the body being supported, and when that happens, she can now increase her strength by 20 to 50% physically, which will in turn create stress relief and create emotional stability, massive endorphins to the brain. Okay, so that's what we do. For the man is a little bit similar but a little bit different, because the man is testosterone based. So the man, when he's younger, he will compete, he will work from that perspective. But the man produces less testosterone as he gets older, so he becomes more feminine in a sense. So as the man gets older in age, he also has to find a comfort zone to work out where it's not ego based.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I totally have seen that for myself. I mean, it was again, I go all the way back to the teenager years. It was all ego based. Like, how much more can I lift than you? And like all that sort of stuff. Who can outdo the other, right? And then now it's more like, for better or worse. I mean, for me, it's like again, the body has certain weaknesses built up over the years. So it's like, so that in itself slows me down in terms of like some of the things I might try to do in the past. My issue was I tried to make my body do things in the past that it probably wasn't ready for, like just try to make her do something incredible, right? And you relate to that with dance, I'm sure. Like you're constantly pushing the bounds, and I think and then it's for yeah, I totally have seen that. I mean, they have measured my testosterone levels, so they're still very high. Are higher for a guy, but yeah, they do definitely drop, and I've calmed down some over the years for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so in the same train of thought, every motion creates an emotion, right? So the way you're going to do an exercise, the way you're going to move is going to trigger an emotional reaction. So in meditation, we always talk about opening the heart, but the heart really to be open has to be supported again by the spine. So when you're collapsed, then this is, every motion creates an emotion. So if you work out, let's say, I'll give you a practical example. If you're going to do some type of chest fly or something to build these muscles, right? And certain machine, you put your hands like this and you go like this, right? Do you see what happens? So you're shortening, you're squeezing, you're closing the heart. We always choose exercises that are going to open the heart. Look, you know what I mean? So if we do the same exercise to build the same muscle, we could do it on maybe a rear delt machine where we would lean forward. So just the fact to lean forward, the chest opens, and then we would go like this. Open. But you see how this keeps the body open?
Yes.
So the selection of exercise in our system is very, very precise and is always for the outcome of opening, stretching, lifting, and that affects mood behavior, and it affects the way you feel, the way you think. It affects everything. So that's another big part, another principles of the esoteric principles of bodybuilding.
Right. I mean, when we started with sort of with the spine, that's kind of where we started, and then it's like we all heard like the spine is the foundation. So if your foundation is off, not just in your spine, but then how that connects with the rest of your skeleton system and everything, right? So I'm not going to try to explain it because you can explain it way better than I can, but like the way it all connects, like my acupuncturist says, because she used to do physical therapy as well. She said, I talked about like, getting all these things in alignment are important. And she says, otherwise you're just building up your imbalances. You could strengthen your imbalances, when you keep it out of balance, you keep trying to strengthen, you're strengthening your imbalances. So it's very, very important, just I think anyway, from everything I've heard and what makes sense to me too, intuitively, is that we are working first on that foundation, and then, everything comes from that foundation, right? So, and part of this is the energy that we're working from. Then is another foundation. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The person is like this, they go to the gym, they work out like this, they're just compounding on the problem, literally.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and it's very interesting what you said about the acupuncturist, because we have an acupuncturist that is on our program, and she actually compares our program to a very high level of acupuncture, because when we work with ergonomics and you push against the weight in a way where the body is ergonomically uh, placed safely, then the weight triggers the meridians
Mm-hmm.
in the
Mm-hmm.
body. And so it does act somewhat like acupressure or acupuncture on some level, and
Mm-hmm.
clears the neuromuscular pathways to the brain. So there's a lot to it. Let's put it that way.
There's so many different things, right? There's so many things
Mm.
that people don't understand. My ego mind wants to say, I've studied a lot, I know a lot about whatever it is, right? And then until you realize there's like, well, there's this whole other universe you didn't learn about yet. So like a lot of people listening, like, well, I know stuff, but there's so much more. And so yeah, I love this. Every emotion creates an emotion. You talked about, and then the grounding. So and then yeah, I mean, I guess it's the other thing that interests me that I heard in one of the talks that your hubby, Dr. Fitness himself, was talking about was that yeah, I mean, for women that go into the gym, the whole mindset piece too, because of the different energies that people are carrying, and male, female, women might be like scared by doing a lot of like, I got a ton, all this stuff to do. Like I got, like you said, like 3 sets of 8. Well, wow, that's 24 now I'm doing. That's a lot.
Oh, you heard that conversation? Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then where a guy is like, well, it's just 8 a set, right? So, and then, so there's like these different mindsets that are inherent, and to some degree, I mean, everybody's different, but like tend to happen is differences between men and women as well. And then it's really about, integrating like really what's right for each person. So I would think like there's general principles, but with any program for anything, there's a lot of individual instruction that can make a massive titanic difference for each person. Isn't that right too?
absolutely. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different way of how they relate to things, how they learn. And like you said, these are just basic principles to illustrate some of these connections between
Mm-hmm.
that body, mind, spirit that we were talking about. But when we develop a program for somebody, of course, we're going to take into consideration their environment, their lifestyle, and not only that, but where not every piece of equipment in the gym is created equal either. They could be two pieces of equipment that look exactly the same, and then you get on one, it's comfortable, you get on the other one, and it's terrible. And people go, oh,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel good, but it's because I'm out of shape, so I got to push through, because when I get stronger, I'm going to be okay. And it's not so at all. If it's uncomfortable and you get a pinch somewhere or whatever, it's just that it's just doesn't fit your body. So just don't do it. We'll find a
Right.
different piece of equipment. We'll find a different way of doing it, a
Yes.
different angle or whatever. Because if it's not comfortable, it's never going to be comfortable. And one day you'll wake up in the morning and you go, oh, where did I get that pain, that nagging
Right.
pain? And you will never know that it was last month when you were doing that exercise. You won't know, because the pain don't always appear right away. The
Right.
pain sometimes
Exactly.
appears later and you can't figure it out. So that's why we teach people never to do anything that's uncomfortable. because it's never going to be comfortable and you're never going to get stronger. You're just only going to get hurt. Do it right first and get empowered. And we teach people fitness like it was a business. When you start a business, you look, where do I want to be in 5 years, in 10 years, 15, 20? You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, get the body of your dream in 90 days or anything like that. You got to look long term. So you have to take the appropriate actions, because when you change through the ages, the body changes and the needs are different.
Yes.
You know, and that needs to be acknowledged. Sometimes we are in the gym and we see a 20-year-old trainer work with a 60-year-old woman that's out of shape, and the exercise that they give them is like, this woman is 60 years old. She's 100 pounds overweight. Why are you putting her on a ball trying to balance while doing a bicep curl? You know what I mean? I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but I see that a lot. So, okay, I'll stop right here.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure you guys are. I know. I know you guys are in gyms all the time, and you see things. You're like, "Whoa, what's going on in here? What's the deal?" Well, the people, we haven't been educated with these things. We don't know. We just haven't got much. The education we got is all like, you want this result here. Mostly it's like for guys, it's like, you want to explode your muscles, here you go. You know, like it's always like that. And then for women, I don't know, because I don't focus as much, but it's usually more like get stronger. Even for women now, it's more like, hey, build up those muscles stronger and bigger, and a little bit more of that. Historically, it was toning, right? Like toning, strengthening, that sort of mindset. And so, but not to realize, like, if you think for people that are spiritually oriented, I think that what's so critical what talking about is, not only is this better for your body, but it has everything to do with your overall spiritual connection and strengthening yourself energetically. I guess the best way to describe it, on every level, so you can be more effective with everything in your life, your relationships, your business, or your career, and your money, and your, everything. And your health is obviously going to be better by doing it the right way. Because you're right, like someone might feel really good on a program for a while, for a few weeks or months even, maybe, and then all of a sudden are like, oh, I'm sick of it, or I don't want to do it anymore. Or they'll say, like, they'll get injured. Injuries happen all the time, especially with weights. Like, I'm injured, oh, I got to take a few weeks off. Then they may not even go back for a long time, right? Yeah. I see that happen even to my chiropractor. He hurts his back. He's like, I was squatting all this weight, and then I proposed, something went out, and he's not back in for a long, long time, and it throws you off. So getting the foundation strong and clear, and then building upon that, and then with the energy, I think one of the things we, because it's a very in-depth subject, but in the depth with energy, right? And the energy that we're in while we're working out is hugely different. So if I do it really fast, I'm like being like an animal in the gym, right? That's a totally different effect on my body and my energy, my spiritual connection, than if I did it differently. Let's say it goes slow. I do it like a slow technique, right? I just take it nice and slow. Like it's a whole different energy. There's so many things. And so what are some, I get excited talking about this stuff. But like, what are some other things that you could share with people? I mean, I know we have a gift for people. So do you want to share how people can learn more? And
yeah, so you want me to, I don't know how we're doing in time. So do you want me to give you another point, or you want me to just go straight to the gift?
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and share the gift now, and we could share maybe one more time later too. Yeah.
Perfect. So I created like an ebook, a report, if you like, where I give those principles a little bit more in depth. And so I would really, I'd love for you to grab it and dive into it, and you might actually find some information that you might not have thought about before or heard. I know we talked about some of it here, but in the book, in the report, it goes a little bit more in depth. So it's the esoteric principles of bodybuilding, the missing links to fitness consciousness that might actually change your mindset about how you approach your fitness, and you maybe approach it from a more spiritual perspective, and where it's not something that you have to do, that you dread doing, but something that you embrace and make part of your life, because you understand that there is no spirit, mind. As long as you're in the body has to be part of that equation, not only from an outer body experience kind of place, which is a lot of what happens in the spiritual realm, but really in the physical realm. And also to understand that we are in a period of transformation, planetary transformation, and that we do have a lot of high frequency energies that are coming down on the planet. And that if the body is not strong, then it will be put out of you're gone, basically. I want to say, I was trying to be diplomatic about this, but there is a law of the universe. The weak animal that's lagging at the end of the pack is the one that gets eaten he's the prey, right? So there are a lot of illnesses happening. There's a lot of diseases. There's a lot of we are in a very strange time right now. And we can look at it from a physical realm. Okay, there's a virus, there's this. But then we can also elevate and look at it from a different perspective, that we are in a transformation time, and that our responsibility is to take care of ourselves, to strengthen ourselves physically, emotionally. And that one of the ways that you can do this, it's by strength training. Because if you listen to the words strength training, it just says it. That's what it does. It makes you stronger, right? And if you do it with consciousness, the way we teach it, then you will have an opportunity to really make those connections and be stronger. So take a look at the free gift that I'm giving you. And education is key. Open-mindedness. You don't know what you don't know. Knowing is the enemy of growing. Right? Oh, I know. And then close the door, but you don't know what you don't know. So, that's my piece, and I stick with it.
Yeah. Well, I think for people where it doesn't feel natural and right, the way they're going about working out right now, if they are working out or doing exercises and at the gym or what have you, or is like, okay, well, here's a way to find something that not only will get you into the alignment and a connection you want with your body and with your spirit and then with your mind as well, all of it together and beyond that, but it's also it will become much more, it will feel much more natural, as my sense of what you're teaching. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, people that are on our system, they often compare it to an active meditation. And because it's very different, and it's very grounding, very meditative, and very empowering. And when it feels good, it's easier to do it. When it doesn't, right? I mean, sometimes I look at what people are doing and I go, oof, no wonder people dread going to work out.
Well, that's where I was at a while back. I mean, I'm a little bit better now in terms of my mindset when I go in, but for a while I was like, man, it just feels like I'm just dragging myself in to do the exercises. And I talked to somebody who is really knowledgeable about these things. And she said, there's thousands of ways of approaching your workouts, And I said, "Oh, I'd love to learn from you," but then it didn't work out. I guess the student wasn't ready yet, right? So now you've appeared, right? So
That's it. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. But sometimes the student is ready, the teacher appears, but the teacher doesn't look like what the student expected,
right,
or the method is not like what the student expected. And so the student says, no, this is not for me. This is not how I imagined it. This is what happened to me when I met Stephen. I did not expect to the answer to my prayer to come in the shape of a international body designer that was going to take me to Gold's Gym Venice, the mecca of bodybuilding, where I would have to train with these big monstrous people. The first time I went there, I was in ballet and, with my pink tights and, going, whoa, I didn't expect that. But I know one thing is that sometimes the answers come in a way that you don't expect it. And when you pray for something, then it's a good idea to open the door, even if it doesn't look like what you expected. And
right,
that's what I did.
right,
I said, okay, sign me up. And
right.
it's been an amazing journey.
Yeah, I think a lot of people go to their no right away because it's the easier path, right? Just no, no that, no this, no, I won't do
Yeah,
that. No. And they just
exactly.
nibble on things all day, right? Nibble, nibble, no, nibble, nibble, no, nibble, nibble, no.
Right.
And so here's an opportunity to just say yes if it feels strong for you. And I think there's things that really are powerful for people. They tend to get scared of them and they run the other way, and instead be present with it. That's the only way you're going to go to your next level of spiritual rock stardom. Really have a so Batista, we're at the point of the show where we want to go ahead and have you remind them of your gift again, and then we want to tell them about we'll mention the link. It's a little bit lengthy, but we'll mention the link as well. So tell them one more time about your gift.
Yeah, so download the report, the Esoteric Principles of Bodybuilding. It's you're going to put the link in
Yes.
there. It can
Show
be
notes.
found on
Yes.
the drfitnessinternational.com
Yes.
website. And visit drfitnessinternational.com as well. Dr. Fitness, DR International, the short version, INT. And also on that page, you have the ability to book a complimentary consultation. I'd like to invite you to do that, to explore the possibilities and answer your questions. And also stay tuned, because we do offer master classes and things come up on occasion where you can come in and there's a lot of opportunities. So just connect with us on Facebook, Dr. Fitness USA, on social media, LinkedIn, and but do download the free report. At the end of the free report, there's also an invitation for a complimentary consultation, and I can't wait to see you.
Yeah, and I mean here, just so people know, just give them a sneak preview. You have Fountain of Youth, 3 important steps to regain your strength, youth, and vitality, the yin and yang. So there's, I feel like you write a whole library worth of information on that. So there's going to be more about that around those principles, the strength training, the release, distress relief, and inner balance. Then we have pain-free, which is something that was huge for Batista in this approach, and I'm sure has been for many countless people. So pain-free, 3 universal laws to achieve the pain-free body you desire and deserve. And I'm pretty sure, Batista, that people have been able to eliminate problems they've had forever after they've tried everything, and they use your approach, and all of a sudden, wow, I haven't had pain in years. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yes. And the funny thing, okay, there's 2 things that happen. Some people, a lot of people don't even believe that they can be pain free. So they discount it. They don't even think, they don't even hear it, because they're so used to have that pain day in, day out. So when I talk about pain relief, pain management, being pain free, they don't even hear it. I did a research on a new program that I am launching in 2021, and I specifically did the research again for pain, and 2 people showed up. Okay, 2 people. And then I changed the topic and I said, oh, how would you like to look and feel 10 years younger in 2010, 21? 20 people came in. Okay. And yeah, and when I interviewed them, all 20 had pain.
Right, exactly. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Amazing. Amazing. But what happens is, so you live with the pain, and then if your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, then we can help you to achieve it, because you have to be able to conceive it and believe it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you just like the 20 people, the 2 people, like the 20 people that didn't even react to it while they were the candidate for that. What happens is, when you are on a program like ours and you're doing your program and you're going with the flow, this is a very strange phenomenon. Most people, and me included, can't even pinpoint the time where the pain was gone.
Right.
And one day you talk to them, the person, and you say, oh, by the way, how is that back pain you? And they go, it's gone. So you get used to be with the pain, and then you get used to not have the pain.
Right.
And sometimes you don't even know it's gone. It's weird, but
Yeah,
it's
you forget.
possible.
It's like you forgot about it, right? It's just like drops out of your
Mhm.
even your awareness anymore. You're like, what pain? I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
get it. I get it.
Yes.
Well, wonderful. Well, one of the things we like to do as we begin to wind down is I just take a minute or two with my guests to use my intuitive energy scanning, just share a couple of things with my guests, things I notice about you and your gifts and your purpose typically. So it's that time of the show. Would you like to receive that, Batista, briefly?
Of course. Yes.
Yeah,
I'd
right,
love
great.
to.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so let's go ahead and tune in, see what wants to come through today. Wow. Okay. So they brought me to your third eye. There's a lot of calculating energy in the third eye. So there's a really kind of a fast pace in there. It was one of the energies, and so it's constantly micro adjusting things. It feels like okay, a bit more of that, a little bit less of that, bringing things into alignment. So this would be how you would work with somebody too. I mean, there's like this. It's a sometimes your overall energy will get tense and get into all that like in a way that's maybe not flowing, but there's also just a natural flow of this energy that's just line. Okay, so it's like it's very interesting energy there from the lower in the third eye. And then let's see what else comes through. This is a beautiful thing. um the energy of generosity is showing up in your field. So it feels like you're setting up like a foundation for different causes, or maybe yeah, one or more causes, probably multiple causes. And people are coming in, and it's like an answered prayer for so many people. So if you're not already setting these things up, it feel like it's coming. And so the feeling I get around that then is I'm like, yeah, so you really want to continue to have more success, even more success expanding these current programs, because you're going to have want to create all these foundations where people can easily get help with for all these different causes that you're passionate about. And let's see what else is coming through so far. Well, one of the things I hear is master healer. So what is so fascinating for me is you are this master healer, like a master attuned person. You have all this background spiritually, and then like a very high level in the area of fitness. So the levels at which you can help people are just amazing, body, mind, spirit. And so the opportunities need to keep being high level, and also the high leverage comes through. So that's my intuitive business stuff, so coming through, but just a little stuff. But yeah, so let's see if there's something else or something. Okay, one last thing. The throat, something that was in the throat chakra that wants to come through. Yeah, there is a feeling, and I feel like you're doing it today, but like there's more that wants to come through you. You really are great at expressing. but I feel like there's more from your emotions. It feels like that wants to bubble through your throat chakra, because I see it connected to the sacral. So there's more that wants to be shared. A more deeper message, maybe, or maybe a deeper message that's connected to your emotions. So it was just quick scanning. That's what I can share for today, Batista. But there's a lot of lot more potential that's unfolding. There's these old boxes, these limited boxes that continue to want to be released around your auric field, and to be even more unlimited, even much more unlimited for you. So I see like being free as a bird to fly, kind of energy want to come in. So so that's what I'm getting for today, Batista. So yeah, any real quick comments or thoughts about any of this stuff that came through?
Yeah, you're right. You're right on. We have all these new projects that we are setting up for in the different fields, the corporate wellness, and then different niche specifically of different needs. That. So we're working towards that. So you're right on. And again, these esoteric principles of bodybuilding is something that I have been really wanting to explore and put out more for a long time since I started. And I seem to, it always seems to be put in the back burner in a sense because of, now we have to develop this program. Now we're doing joint venture. Now we're here. Now we're there. And so slowly over the last 11 years, I put it into action. I have a 13-part series that I put together. And so it is shaping up, but I was so excited when I met you that I could come onto this show and put it back in the forefront, because it is really my passion, and it's something that I think that's
Yes,
chakras that you perceived, because it's something that I really want to do, and it seems to always be the last thing that gets done, so
we're getting it put up towards the front burner now. So there we go.
You go.
Awesome.
There you go. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm really grateful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure thing. Sure thing. And everyone, definitely check out drfitness.com. And then the free gift is in the show notes here. So it's drfitness.com /
drfitnessusa.com and drfitnessinternational.com. We're both websites.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
USA and international.
Yes. So Dr. Fitness, INT, it says here at .com, mm-hmm. Right? And then as well, and then / esoteric principles of bodybuilding. So esoterics of bodybuilding, basically, with dashes, between each word. So people can't see the show notes, which says true sometimes. All right. Well, great. Any last thoughts to share before we wrap up today?
If your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, then Dr. Fitness International can help you to achieve it.
Okay, awesome. Yes. I love it. Okay, wonderful. Okay, thank you, Batista. And thank you for everybody for tuning in. Keep on tuning in, and we'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You're listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.